I want to call the February 12th, 2026 O'Fallon City Council Workshop to order. Roll call, Katie.
Mayor Hennessy,
Present.
Councilmember Wexler,
Present.
Councilmember Roth,
Present.
Councilmember Boyer,
Present.
Councilmember Thompson,
She's excused.
Councilmember Costello,
Mark him in attendance when he arrives.
Councilmember Kewen,
Present.
Councilmember Taylor,
Present.
Councilmember Cook,
Present.
Councilmember Ragsdale.
Present.
All right, folks, you have an agenda in front of you. What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve Ragsdale.
Second Wexler.
Motion by Councilwoman Ragsdale, second by Councilman Wexler. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Anything on the council agenda that you folks want to talk about? Seeing none. Need a motion and a second to accept the city council workshop meeting minutes of January 15th and 22nd of 2026.
Ragsdale.
Roth.
Motion by Councilman Ragsdale, second by Councilman Roth. Questions or comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Next on the workshop is 2026 first quarter strategic plan update. Tom?
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, City Council. So as you know, we do these updates on the strategic plan quarterly. This is actually the first one for this new strategic plan. It was adopted in the middle of the third quarter last year, so we just waited for the whole quarter to go before we came to you with this. Going forward, we'll continue them quarterly after that. As usual, I'm just going to kind of go through some of the more recent highlights. If you have questions about anything I say or any of the items I don't necessarily touch on, please don't hesitate to ask. We'll start out with our Goal 1 process improvements, looking at convenience fees and reports. We had a council workshop on that in December, and implementation of the convenience fees is already underway. Economic development incentives policy. Patrick presented that at the January 15th workshop, and I know he received feedback from you on that. Review and update all development applications, building permits, and inspection fees. Planning is currently in the process of researching fees of surrounding communities for comparison purposes. We're also considering revising the payment process so that all application fees are paid at one time. Moving on to technology. Formalizing IT service delivery processes. Training has commenced with that, and improvements to processes are being documented for consideration following the training. Creation of IT-focused business continuity plans. The initial research is occurring right now, and I know IT's reached out to various departments to really start communicating that and getting that effort rolling with the individual departments. Refreshed online permitting portal. Staff will be meeting with CitizenServe to work through the steps necessary to update that portal here shortly. Recreation software improvements. This is actually already underway. Staff is currently working to make account creation easier and hoping that leads to more online registrations for both memberships and for programming. AI opportunities. Jason Adams has established an AI steering committee. We've had 2 meetings so far. It's a really good group of, a real diverse group of employees, from kind of the younger employees to older employees, some who are very AI knowledgeable and some who have absolutely no idea about it. So it's been a really good conversation these first 2 meetings. I think we're off to a really good start with that. Employee retention and relations category. Competitive pay. You guys know we completed the study for the salary study in 2005. It was implemented in the 2026 budget year. The next one won't be till 2028. We will, of course, look at ad hoc situations and annually kind of take a look at some areas where we may be struggling with hiring to see if that's necessary. But otherwise, we'll wait until 2028 for the next major study. Virtual reality training for the police. They have some samples on site that are being evaluated right now. Modernize the city's volunteer engagement software, specifically focused on ADA compliancy. This is actually already underway. The implementation is underway right now, and actually shouldn't be too much longer before it's complete. Moving on to goal 2, great places to live. A great place to live. Is putting fiber and cameras in our parks. The installation is actually going on right now at Sports Park. They were testing the system 2 days ago, and it is fantastic, and we're really excited about the images that we're getting from these things. They're also doing stuff here at City Hall with the new cameras as well, and at some of our facilities. So that's going on right now all throughout the city. Senior facility inspections, those were completed for this year, and that's now going to be an ongoing process. Every year, we will annually look at our senior, have inspections of our senior living facilities. So it's part of our normal process now. So we essentially have completed the strategic plan goal, and it'll just go forward ongoing. Goal 3, upgraded city facilities and infrastructure. City hall renovations, you actually approved that at your last, oh, I'm sorry, did you have a question, Mayor? Okay. City hall renovations, you actually approved that at your last city council meeting, so we appreciate that. And we're already starting to work with the contractor to get that moving. O'Fallon Theater, we've talked to you guys about that as well, that we should have something hopefully to you at the next meeting or the meeting after that to look at and approve on that part of the project. The Arctic, that is currently under construction. The mayor, Mike, and I got to see a tour of it just last week. It looks fantastic. They're got most of the construction done. Now they're starting to bring in the actual computer systems and everything. So they're shooting for a March opening. Yes, sir.
So everyone want to mark their calendar, March 12th at 2 p.m. is the ribbon cutting.
There you go. I wasn't quite ready to put that out. I wasn't sure. So thank you, Mike.
It's ready to go.
All right, wonderful. Meeting room technology, staff is working with IT to meet with vendors to work on upgrading our presentation technology throughout city facilities. And then single stream recycling, we have on here, draft agreement was expected this month. That actually changed in the last week. St. Peter's went ahead and just passed an ordinance setting their single stream recycling rates in ordinance form. So technically we no longer need an actual agreement with them. We will just comply by their ordinance and we're comfortable with that moving forward. So same thing, same result, just a different approach to it than what we thought was going to happen. And that benefits them for several reasons, because obviously it helps them with other clients as well. So just makes life easier on them. And then wireless connectivity in the parks. Initial discussions are underway between IT, Parks and Recreation regarding the ROI of different opportunities we could do with this in terms of wireless hotspots or 5G hotspots. So we're looking at those opportunities right now. Goal 4, create a vibrant community. Affordable single-family developments. Planning staff has a working group created to review this topic and is looking at having has had fact-finding meetings with an advocacy group and a residential developer, just trying to get some ideas of what's going on and what opportunities are out there. Concessions, staff is working with Fleet right now to determine the specifications and a plan for procurement of a new concessions trailer, which was budgeted in this year's budget. Youth sports, baseball and softball registrations are underway. They're going pretty well. We've had several full teams come over and join our New Horizons league. And then we've had a lot of individuals also. So we'll be creating teams from those individuals that have signed up as well. Additionally, soccer, we are over 300, I believe 300 signups for this spring. So that's looking great. And we're still working through the NFL flag to get that going here soon too. So. Facility rentals, staff has developed a new offering called Firelight Nights to expand campsite rentals at O'Day. This will be a weekday opportunity for groups to have an outdoor function at the campfire down at O'Day. And then event parking, staff has actually already identified some potential parking areas for future events. And we're working on looking at transportation options, what we could do and what we can't, and then we'll go from there. And then develop an event survey. Staff has developed a mock survey and is evaluating the best way to reach attendees for feedback from our various events. The last update I have is related to our city code updates, and that is preserving commercial property. This is complete. Staff is now going to, every time we work with a commercial property, or excuse me, with a residential or any sort of property that comes in, work with that individual developer to see if there are commercial opportunities out there. And then those hopefully will have additional proposals that can be brought to you guys as a council to consider as we move forward. And that is my update for this quarter. Do you have any questions about anything?
Questions? Thanks, sir.
Thank you all.
Next is a presentation of the O'Fallon Historic Places Register nominations.
Hello, everybody. My name is Rick Dodson. I'm with O'Fallon Historic Preservation Commission. Tonight, we are asking your approval on the 2 nominations of the historic registration. One is 41 Woodlawn Avenue. If you don't know about, here's the side of the house. This was built in 1914. I'd like to tell you that Woodlawn Avenue. When you go down, it's in between, if you don't know where it's at, it's actually in between West Terra and Pittman. And that road is actually the original road where the other roads have been moved. So this house was built in 1914. Originally, Mr. Roper had built this house. This stained glass. If you look at these windows, I just mentioned this. Usually when they built those houses, they did everything outside. They did the windows, they cut the glass, they put it in, and they just did it all. The stained glass, I'm not too for sure if that was a Sears thing or not, but this is all original here. This is the back side of it. And the back side, the property, it's half the size of what it used to be. Because being originally the Summers home, in the back of it, there is an old privy back there. That is part of the original apple orchard that used to be back there back in the early 1900s, 1800s. And I want to say, Mr. Donnie could not be here tonight. He had surgery today, so he's at home recuperating. Here's the other side. This would be the south side. 1940. I mean, this house is unique. I don't think we have any others like this here in town. And here's the front of it. But this is really neat. You can see that it still has the old down at the bottom. You see where they poured the concrete and it used to come out in the middle. It's probably had a horse thing at the bottom of it from the original Woodlawn Avenue. So the house next to it, the little brick house next to it, that was Mrs. Lang. She was actually the daughter to the Summers, and she grew up in this house here. But the wood here was milled here in O'Fallon itself. Now, what you can see is because everybody, the hailstorms, everybody put aluminum, put siding on it. So you covered over a lot of the wood, replace the siding later, every hailstorm. So you don't see the wood underneath it, but this is the best way to keep it and insulate the house. But this is really a beautiful, unique house. We do not have very many pictures. We do know that some of the John will get into it next on the 419. That he lives there, but some of the stuff in this house was probably even came from the Mercantile, West Off Mercantile. And you look underneath, he's still working on the house, doing the inside. So I would like you. Do you vote on this one first and then move the second? Oh, both. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, so I'll let Mr. Davis come in and he will talk about 419. He has a lot of information on this whole area and the Roper family. Thank you.
And then just use this here.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. All right. Hi there, I'm John Davis. I live at 419 Woodlawn Avenue. My wife Erica and I have been O'Fallon residents for 28 years and have both grew up locally nearby. We have seen O'Fallon's population and infrastructure grow from the 1970s through today and have a deep appreciation for how the city's historical integrity guides its future. Names like Krekel, Westhoff, Ginevra are commonly recognized as those who helped shape the city, yet there are names not as well known from around Woodlawn Avenue who also contributed to the city's heritage. From the Woodlawn Institute that stood from 1898 till 1915 to the Tillers, Pittmans, and Ropers. We recently had the pleasure of hosting Commissioners Dodson and Amos from the O'Fallon Historic Preservation Committee at our home, as a landmark in the city's historic register, which is why I'm here to share our home's significance to O'Fallon's story. For context, our Craftsman Bungalow home was built in 1910, just 8 years after the 1904 World's Fair in St. Louis, and 2 years before O'Fallon was incorporated as a city in 1912. 419 Woodlawn was built by brothers Joseph and Paul Roper, German immigrants, and local builders who were significant contributors to the development of the community. Having constructed at least 9 known historic residential homes, which all happen to still be standing in the city. There are likely more homes built by Joseph and Paul Roper to be discovered, pending more research. Uniquely, 419 Woodlawn was hand-built to be Paul Roper's own personal family home. The land was acquired from Caroline Tillor, originally included the plot to the side and behind what is now 423 Woodlawn and 411 Fanning. Paul, along with his wife Pauline, seen in this picture, raised their 3 daughters, Laura, Helen, and Alberta, at 419 Woodlawn. In 1952, Paul built the Roper Clinic for Women next door. This was a 23-bed institution serving the community run by Alberta Roper, who was a nurse at that time. Helen Roper, who had MS, was among the clinic's first patients. However, regrettably, Helen lost her battle just 18 days after the opening. Notably, according to City Historical Records, the Roper Clinic also served as an early resource for after-hours phone emergencies, like for the fire department, after the city's landlines were installed. In 1957, Paul built another small home on the same property for his daughter. She lived and continued her pre-med work till becoming a doctor. Laura Roper would later marry and eventually move to Louisiana. Paul passed in 1962, and his wife Pauline remained at 419 Woodlawn until she passed in 1974. Alberta, who inherited the entire property, sadly passed away 5 years later in 1979. The Ropers were active members of Assumption Church here in O'Fallon and are currently at rest in Assumption Cemetery. Because the home remained in the Roper family for almost 70 years, the home is an extraordinarily well-preserved local example of craftsman architecture, including characteristics like the deep front porch, tapered columns, second-story dormer, and covered back porch. The home uniquely preserves most of its original siding, tongue and groove beadboards, eaves, and period details such as plaster walls, 9-foot ceilings, original wood trim and hardware, pine wood flooring, and sunroom with crank windows. What is not as easily evident is the hand-built construction techniques the home retains, like its balloon framing comprised of enormous one-piece, old-growth wood planks that diagonally span the entire subfloor, which were milled locally and stamped Gentleman Lumber and Supply, O'Fallon, Missouri. All throughout, these distribute load in a stronger and straighter manner without racking or twisting. There is a steel cable supporting the front porch hip roof, functional and structural mud sill plates that extend outward beyond the foundation that all demonstrate the expert craftsmanship of a builder who intended the home to last, as it has now stood for 116 years. I believe you will recognize that 419 Woodlawn Avenue is a special marker of O'Fallon's progress before the city was incorporated through all of its milestones that represent the tangible construction skills of brothers Joseph and Paul Roper, as well as the family's aspirations and contribution to the community, meeting each of the requirements stipulated for a historic landmark. I respectfully submit the Roper home at 419 Woodlawn Avenue for your consideration. Okay.
Thank you guys for taking the time to see this. There's a picture of Harry S. Truman coming down that road, and I'm looking for that picture. I haven't seen it in 3 years, but I'm looking for that, and I thought I'd like to add that with, see the houses behind it. Thank you.
Well, we got, you guys aren't done yet. Not that easy. Ms. Ragsdale.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Rick. I'm familiar with both of these homes just from driving by, and I'm so thrilled that you're here tonight to present. And I'm just curious if either of these homes are a Sears home?
Not on that block. These were all
Not
built by the Ropers. I think the Sears, more Sears are down there on Civic Park.
Okay, so the first home is not a Sears one either?
No.
Okay,
No, they're all built by Mr. Roper. Yes.
perfect. And again, thank you so much, both of you, for coming. These were beautiful homes. Thanks.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Roth?
How you guys doing?
Real
I'm
good.
saying about this, but I've been meaning to get a hold of you. Are we a go on the Brody?
We are. We got to go next week.
Just to let the rest of the council know, we got a young kid going to do an Eagle Scout project for Sage Chapel Church. And we had to get it cleared through all the historical stuff, and we just got a thumbs up. So we'll be having a new Eagle Scout project up at Sage Chapel Church here in a couple months.
Okay.
Thank you, Roth. Thank you, Councilman Roth.
Anybody else? Mr. Boyer?
So once we get the designation, what is that? I'm not familiar. So whenever you get the designation, what happens to the houses and what gets applied?
We have a plaque
Yeah.
that actually goes out on the front of the house.
And that's it.
And well, yeah, it gets designation. It gets well, it gets on O'Fallon. Well, the plaque's pretty expensive. You can increase my budget. No.
It also prevents.
Prevents. Yeah, I mean, it helps preserve our legacy
Awesome. Thank you.
the best we can.
Okay, anybody else? Mr. Kuhn?
Just to tag on to that, and maybe I'm mistaken, but I thought designating a historic place also meant that you can't basically change the character of the home without it being approved. You can't come in and slap on, a sunroom or raise the roof or even raise the building, heaven forbid, if I'm not mistaken, correct? And I would hate to lose these treasures because somebody wanted to build,
Well,
something else there.
that does happen, and it has, and it will continue to happen unless we change the ordinance. But no, we in O'Fallon, we don't basically dictate what people really need to do. We try to keep it as close to original as we can, and hopefully the homeowners will do that. But actually, the ordinance has not been changed to protect those homes yet.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was at the national level. There is a lot of protections in place as to what they can and can't do, but within our local O'Fallon ordinances, there's not a lot there.
Ms. Cook?
Thank you. John, this is for you. So when we were looking at this house at the historic meeting, we noticed that there's only one column there.
Yeah.
And we were questioning, do you have any, was that added afterwards to hold up the roof, or is that just how it
So
was built?
actually, I could, let's see if I can go back to that. I'll show you the original old picture here. I believe this was taken in the 40s is what I was told. So you'll notice there is if you look in very closely, there's one board there that's a 3x3 or a 4x4 board. And on the other side, they had iron scrolled grate of some sort. The iron grate was removed, and this below it, the two columns that it sits on is stucco. In fact, the same on the outer sides of the porch as well are stucco. And that 3x3 board stayed there. Now, it's not necessary from my understanding. I have different people tell me different things, but it looks like it's not structurally significant. As I mentioned, there's a steel cable running from side to side in there, which seems highly unusual from 1910, but it is in there. And so I considered removing it, but what I did is I found a wrap that mirrored the same style of craftsman architecture to go around that 4x4 board without removing it. It's in the stucco. The other one, I just put another planter on it because strangely, most of Mr. Roper's other homes, such as at the end of Pittman Avenue where his brother Joseph lived, also have 3 columns. There's one just up the road, a little further, built in 1940, that also, strangely enough, has 3 columns. So I don't know if that was some trademark of his, but I just sort of left it as for the planter, and it's odd, I know. It's uneven.
Yeah, we were talking about that. We were just kind of curious what the significance was, but thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Thank you, guys, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Mr. Woods, review of upcoming planning and zoning commission agenda items.
Sorry.
Uh-oh, I don't see it now. Oh, here we go. All right, sorry about that. So yeah, thank you, Mayor and Council. I'm here to go through our March P&Z agenda. We got quite a few things on here. So I'll go ahead and start going through it. The first one, Jeremy's Market on Highway P. This is just a conditional use that goes to P&Z. He wants to start serving alcohol there. So we have it on here as a conditional use permit to go through planning and zoning for that. Really no changes to the building or the interior, but they want to start serving alcohol as part of this business. So that requires that process. Next item, 330 Sondern. This is the, what we know currently is Good News. They've had some changes in ownership and they're wanting to rename this Interruption Public House. And as part of that, they want to do some changes to the site. So they want to add a cooler and a new patio kind of out towards Roderick. So this is, there's kind of a covered patio here currently. They want to go out a little further with a patio and then a cooler on the back for additional storage. And that's going to be a site plan through planning and zoning on that. That's kind of a blow up. They do share park like this. These yellow blocks here is what they share parking with the bowling alley liquor store property to the south. But yeah, they're going to propose a patio out there. We do have a comment to provide some bollards out there. So that's something we're talking to them about. Next project is a site plan for a building addition at the Fort Zumwalt School up off of Homefield Boulevard. That's the location. And this is really hard to see. I think my next plan shows a little bit better. Here we go. So this would be a new building back here. This is the, it's the newer building. I can't think it's like the Autism Center. And the existing building here, Woodlawn's down to the south, be a new building addition to the school. Okay, we haven't had anything really like this for a while that I can think of, but this is a site plan. This is off of Pheasant Meadow Drive, Highway K. The green, kind of this area here, that's all city limits. Everything in white is not in the city. So what's happening here is they want to build a new road in the city limits to provide access to a subdivision that's in Cottoville. So with the improvements, all we're really looking at is this road in the city limits. It's a private road. It's not it won't be a city maintained street, even though this road here will be. They're actually going to reconfigure this intersection. This cul-de-sac that's there will be taken out, and there will be more of a three-way intersection, I guess I'll say there. But then I have the plan from Cottoville. So this is just a close-up of the road going in. YMCA is over here. And then this is the subdivision plans from Cottoville. So on this plan, this is the road we're talking about that's in the city. And all this over here is in Cottoville. And that is 69 lots. All single-family homes back in there. One thing I have learned after kind of looking at this is there is an access way to come in. They do have access out to K coming through here. There's a house. But it looks like they might be bringing most of the construction traffic this way back rather than using our street. That's kind of what I've been hearing. Because that was one of our concerns, having all that construction traffic going down our street there. But I think they're coming up with a different route to come in this way. This is like an entrance into the strip mall and the Blue Fuse. And once you get past a certain point, it just kind of turns to gravel back there. Okay, this is a big undeveloped property we have off of Hoff Road, 895 1001 Hoff Road. This is the transfer station property. This line through here is the railroad tracks. So it's all this undeveloped property zoned industrial. And we have a site plan. It's being called Project Risen. And it's all this gray, this darker gray, all the way around, that's parking spaces. And I've counted around 8,300 parking spaces. So it's a lot of parking. And the building would be here. And Hoff Road is right there. And this is a blow up. This up here is a blow up of the building area. So this building is really, it's used for automotive repair, cleanup, detailing, and then kind of doing pictures and getting, these pictures of the vehicles on the internet. And these larger spots here would be for over the road, like 18-wheelers hauling vehicles. So they'd be hauling in, tractor trailer loads of cars and then taking them back out. This is a gated entrance, secure entrance.
Excuse me, David.
Mhm.
How many parking spots did you say are going in there?
Around 8,300.
Why? Why do they need so many parking spots?
Well, they bring in, loads of cars that they've bought and then clean them up and resell. So,
That many of them?
right.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a lot of parking spots. Yeah.
David, is there a way that they can get instead of the tractor trailers by Hoff Road, if they can get them in the back of their parking lot? I'd prefer them to have it in the back parking lot rather than sitting there right up against Hoff Road.
Having more parking back here.
Well,
Oh,
Where to me, I don't like it up against Hoff Road.
yeah. One thing I forgot to mention is like this lot, this separate parking lot there, that's the employee parking.
No, I'm not worried about the employee
Yeah.
parking. I'm worried about where their car, tractor trailers or whatever is going to be parking right up against
All this
or
stuff.
right
yeah,
there.
Yeah.
I would like to see them push it further to the back of the lot. To me, they can put parking lots for cars there and move the tractor trailers back to the back of the parking.
Okay. Yeah, we can talk to them about that.
That's my suggestion.
Okay.
Do you have something, Mr. Keelan?
Yes, sir. What is this currently zoned?
It's zoned I2.
And does this
So-
fit into an I2 zoning?
Yes. Yeah, it's a permitted
Does it
use.
require a conditional use permit or anything?
No.
Fantastic. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, this is a blow up of the building. It kind of showed, these are all those little squares are, bays where a vehicle would come in to get worked on. So you'd have drive-in doors and all these are different bays of vehicles being worked on. There's also like a wash to wash cars. These circle things are where I believe you drive a car in there, it's got cameras and they're taking, doing like a walkthrough, like live video of a car to sell it on the internet. Here's the building. It's mostly metal. This complies with our code. We do require the frontage to be not all metal, and they've done that. This little bit here is all that faces the road, off road. So yeah, that's what I got on that one. This is the sports complex. Their plan was getting close to expiring next month, so they're asking for an extension. We have been in contact with them pretty regularly. They've been working on construction plans and building permits, so they're not sure they can get it all approved in time with all the moving parts on this. But it's just an extension of their plan, and that's a letter explaining what they're working on. That they do have a couple minor things, but nothing that constitutes a new plan, I would say. Yeah, they're working on the plan for the road improvements, and I know the Bourbon Garden is something they've been looking at also, so that's what they're just asking for, that plan to be extended. This is their plan. One change that from before was this building before was all one building, and they're proposing to separate that into two. This is the Bourbon Garden down here. That's the hotel and extended stay facility. Really no changes over here. Okay, next project. This is a rezoning conditional use permit. and a plan for a new senior housing project in Winghaven. This road here is Winghaven Boulevard. This is Phoenix at the signal there. This is a property as you're kind of going down the road to Highway 64. This is kind of up on the hill to the left. There's a median kind of throughout here. This is the Winghaven golf driving range. Oh, and all this down here is where the solar field's going. So this is senior housing. They're wanting to do 104 independent units, 49 assisted, and then they also have 20 memory care units. So they've got a little mix of all the different types of housing. All this up here is the independent, the assisted is here, and this back in here is the memory care unit. They are proposing 2 access points off of Winghaven. One would be here. This one would just be a right in, right out. There's a median here. But then as you go down here, they propose a full access, and they're proposing to cut that median to get in with that left turn and the left out. And we have, they've done a study on that because we were worried about the sight distance and different things there. And this, you can get all these little lines here. That's the topography. So this is kind of going up pretty steep, coming up to get up here. And then they're grading this, and there'd be a retaining wall back here, a lot of grading back in here. This just shows you the different types of units. There's a range of 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, 2 bath. So that's all that is. They do have some different amenities in there. The elevations. This is the study we did, or the CBB did, that we reviewed for this curb cut, median cut, I should say. So this is the signal down at kind of the back entrance into Outback Strip Mall. Forgetting the name of that right now. And this would be where the entrance would be.
David,
Yep.
have they, I guess they've already gone through the Winghaven Master Association and
They've been talking to them. Yes. I don't know if it's gone through, but I know they've been in contact. That was a question we were talking about just last week or two, that they're in contact. I don't know.
I guess one of the conditions is they have to get the approval from the Winghaven Master Plan before we approve
That's
it.
usually how we do that.
I just want to make sure,
Yeah.
because I don't want to say yes and then have a fight
Yeah.
with the Winghaven Master
Yeah.
Plan.
I'll double check on that. I think it was kind of working itself out, but
Okay.
I'll double check. Yeah.
And Mr. Montgomery, that entrance coming in there, is it pretty steep? Is that going to meet codes and everything else with how steep it, what the grade's going to be?
A good question, Mayor. So we have,
good.
and that's one of our concerns, is the sight distance and grade coming in. And certainly it's kind of around a bend, and they're wanting to remove the median. So that'll be something.
I'm not worried about the cutting the median. Is the driveway coming from Winghaven up into the property. If that's going to be a steep hill, I mean, I don't, if it snows and stuff, they'll be sliding out onto Winghaven Boulevard. I just want to make sure that, is there something in our ordinance or whatever, what the ratio is that they have to meet?
Yes, sir. There's a certain grade limit. So
Okay.
we'll want to check for that and other concerns. So.
Okay, thank you. Debbie?
This gentleman is not trying to go through the state to get any funding or anything. Is he doing this on his own?
I have not heard that they're asking anything from the state. I don't know for certain. I don't think so, but I'm not positive. I can double check on that. Yeah.
We'll find out in March. Amanda?
I might have missed it, but what was the company that's proposing this? Because, I worry of all the problems we have in our ward with some of the senior communities.
This is a newer, I don't remember them ever coming to town. This is O'Reilly. I can't quite read that, but it was O'Reilly. It's like a conglomerate. It's actually the same company that owns the O'Reilly Auto Parts. They do different things. So, what's that?
Yes, yes. Didn't we do the build and the O with this, with
Mhm.
these folks?
Yeah. Mhm.
It's been a while back.
Okay. This is another one actually right next door in Winghaven. This is zoned high tech. Both of these were zoned high tech actually, and they're proposing to rezone them. This one here, high tech to single family residential. The one we were just talking about, the senior housing project is right there. So just beyond it, off of Phoenix, is this piece of property. We have the ambulance building that's under construction. I think it's getting pretty close to getting done. And then we have this property here. They want to do, this is Lombardo. They're wanting to rezone it, 30 single-family homes, just a cul-de-sac coming down. And as part of this, they're proposing a park. So this would become a city property park. I think the details are still being worked out, but it would be parking lot with like a monument kind of sculpture walking path. That would be part of it. And they would also, there's a trail that kind of cuts through here. That's an amenity for Winghaven that they'd relocate kind of around the property that way. They're just asking for straight R1, so all these lots are 10,000 square foot and above. And they just have their, this is just a list of all the different models. I can slow down if you want, but you kind of get the idea. And that's what I got.
Questions? Mr. Wexler?
Thank you, Mayor. David, on that Pleasant Meadow Drive, is there any way we can look at maybe some traffic calming along that Pleasant Meadow? I've been back there. It's like a racetrack. There's that school and the YMCA and a bunch of kids walking there.
Like down this way?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When they're coming out of those apartments, was that Prairie Place? They're flying through there.
Mhm.
So I don't know if we can, if there's any way to put a stop sign there or some kind of traffic calming along Pleasant Meadow, or just maybe look into that a little bit.
Okay. Yeah, I think the way it's set up is, Wade might have to remind me, but I think it's the way the plan I'd seen, this road would become the through street. And then this road would come in as a stop coming that way. But yeah, I guess we can talk about the traffic calming on that. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Anybody else? Thank you, David.
Yep, thank you.
Any other items for consideration? Seeing none, I'd like to have a motion to go to closed session, 610-0211, legal action, cause of action, or litigation involving a public governmental body and any confidential or privileged communication between a public governmental body or its representative and its solicitor's attorney. 610-0212, leasing, person, or sale of real estate, and 610-0212, sealed bids and related documents till the bids are opened, and sealed proposals and related documents or any documents related to a negotiated contract until a contract is executed or all proposals are rejected.
Wexler.
Ragsdale.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second by Councilwoman Ragsdale. Roll call, Katie.
Councilmember Cook? Yes. Councilmember Kewen?
Yes.
Councilmember Wexler?
Yes.
Councilmember Ragsdale? Yes. Councilmember Taylor?
Yes.
Councilmember Costello?
Yes.
Councilmember Roth?
Yes.
Councilmember Boyer?
Yes.
All right. We'll be up in the community room at 6:25, and this workshop is adjourned, 6:15. I'd like to call the February 12th, 2026 O'Fallon City Council meeting to order. Roll call, Bess.
Mayor Hennessy,
Present.
Councilmember Wexler,
Present.
Councilmember Roth,
Present.
Councilmember Boyer,
Present.
Councilmember Thompson,
She's excused.
Councilmember Costello,
Present.
Councilmember Kewen,
Present.
Councilmember Taylor,
Present.
Councilmember Cook, Councilmember Ragsdale.
Present.
Everyone will please stand if able for the invocation by Police Chaplain Brandon Buford, Senior Pastor of the Lighthouse Church, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, led by Councilmember Boyer.
It's good to see you again. As kind of my custom, I read a Bible verse. And today I want to read from James chapter 3, verse 13. It says, "Who is wise and understanding among you? By their good conduct, let them show his works or their works in meekness of wisdom." It goes on to say that wisdom from above is first pure, then peaceable, gentle, open to reason, full of mercy and good fruits, impartial and sincere. And a harvest of righteousness is sown in peace by those who make peace. And I pray today that that divine wisdom rests on each one of you as y'all continue to make plans for this city. Would you bow your heads as we pray? Father, we're so thankful today that you've allowed us to be here. I pray for each of our citizens that have gathered here today. And Lord, I pray that you would be with them and their families. They have needs. You know them even before we ask. And I pray that you would touch them, answer needs, bless them, we pray. I pray for our council. I ask that you would endow them with wisdom from on high as they continue to make decisions that affect all of us. I pray that you would allow their voices to be heard, give them wisdom to make those decisions that will better serve this community. We pray, and we give you glory and thanks in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Folks, you have an agenda in front of you. What's the pleasure?
Motion to approve, Costello.
Ragsdale.
Motion by Councilman Costello, second by Councilwoman Ragsdale. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Presiding officer report. Miss Councilwoman Ragsdale, you want me to meet me down front?
I have been honored enough to be the liaison on behalf of the council for our DARE students, and I am extremely thrilled, so proud of all these students. These are fifth graders that went through the DARE program. They've recently finished and graduated with the help of their tonight's students, with the help of their DARE officer, Officer Jessica, and these students were selected by their peers, by their classmates, to read their essays at graduation in front of their entire fifth grade assembly. And then one from each class. And then we selected a winner from each of the schools to actually come and present to you all their essays that they wrote. And I'm just so thrilled and so proud of each and every one of them. It takes a lot of courage for these students to read these essays in front of their classmates. And I know that you guys will get as much out of it as what I've been honored to get. But before I bring the students up, I did want to ask Officer Jessica to come up and talk about her first year in the DARE program.
Hello, and thank you, Ms. Ragsdale. She actually attended all three of our DARE graduations, which were on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday in a row. So I want to thank her for taking the time out of her day, and as well as Mayor Hennessy for coming out to those graduations. This is my first year teaching DARE. This is my fifth year as an officer with O'Fallon, and I've been really, really privileged to work with these students, teachers, and administration within the Fort Zumwalt School District. I am within 7 of the schools within Fort Zumwalt, one of those being Assumption. So I had 3 of them this fall, which were Mount Hope, Westoff, and Rock Creek, who you will hear our readers speak from tonight. And then I'm at an additional 4 this spring, one being jail mud, which they do not have fifth grade. So like she said, our fifth graders are the ones that attend the DARE program and that I teach once a week for 10 weeks. And during the DARE program, they're required to write a speech for graduation. And so this is the only time I make them get out of their comfort zone and read in front of a class, which for some of them is a huge, huge task. And like they said, I'm so proud of them. And not only did they read in front of their whole class, some of them their whole school, and now they get to speak at a council meeting. So I just want to say I'm so proud of all three of you. And I thank you guys and your families for taking the time out of your day to be here. So thank you.
Thank you. Well, first up, oh yeah, please stay up. Thank you, Mayor, for catching that. First up from Westhoff Elementary School, I would like Landon Watson and his family to come join us. And be sure and tell us who everybody is, and also make sure and remember that Officer Jessica is here to support you too.
This is my dad, my mom, and my two sisters, Devin and Taylor, and my DARE officer, Officer Jessica. Dear 18-year-old me, in DARE, I learned how dangerous drugs, alcohol, and tobacco can be. They can harm both your body and mind. Not only do drugs harm you, but they can also cause pain to those who love you. It is important to remember the strategies as learned in DARE to say no to drugs to keep ourselves safe and healthy. When I am 18 years old, I want to remember what I learned in DARE from Officer Jessica about drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. It might be tempting to try drugs, alcohol, or tobacco because curiosity or peer pressure. However, drugs, alcohol, and tobacco can really harm your body and mind. Drugs can change the way you think and make it hard to make good decisions. Alcohol can damage your brain. This can be dangerous since you're still growing, even at the age of 18. Tobacco can cause lung and heart problems. As a future 18-year-old, I want to stay strong and remember how important it is to make healthy choices. Another lesson I learned in DARE is that I want my 18-year-old self to remember is that drugs, alcohol, and tobacco don't just hurt the person using them, but they also hurt people who love you as well. I learned this lesson personally because my family lost someone we love to drugs, alcohol, and alcohol. It was really hard then, and it's still hard today. It made everyone sad. Losing them changed our family forever. Sometimes I still think about them and wish things had been different. If they had made different choices, they would still be here. When learning about addiction and DARE, it helped me understand more about what they were going through and why it's so important to stay away from drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. Even though my loved ones struggled with drugs and alcohol, they didn't give up. Sometimes addiction is very strong, and even when people try their best, it can still win. As a 10-year-old writing to my future self, I want to remember strategies to help me avoid drugs, alcohol, and tobacco. I learned in DARE that if someone ever tries to pressure me into using drugs, alcohol, or trying tobacco, I can confidently say no and walk away. I can make sure to choose good friends who respect my decisions and help me make smart choices. If I ever feel uncomfortable, I can get up, help, or talk to a trusted adult. By using these strategies, I know that I will keep myself safe and healthy. I want to remember everything I learned in DARE, so when I'm 18 years old, I can be healthy and strong. It is important to remember how drugs, alcohol, and tobacco hurt your body and mind. It is also important to remember the strategies to help me remember to say no. I will use what I learned in DARE to stay drug-free.
Congratulations on the man. So there's more here or different at graduation? Congratulations, buddy. Nice job.
Thank you so much. See, I told you these kids were pretty amazing. Next, we have from Rock Creek Elementary, Miss Ivory Brown and her family. her. And then tell us who you brought with you today.
I brought my parents, my grandmother, and my little niece, and of course, thanks to Miss Jessica. Dear future Ivory Brown, first, I want to congratulate you on completing high school. I am so excited to see what college you get into and that we got amazing grades. I wrote this essay to remind you about whenever you were in 5th grade and Officer Jessica taught you DARE lessons. Once you are in college and start going to college parties and other social events, your friends will try to influence you by offering alcohol or drugs and pressure you and make fun of you for not partaking in drinking or drugs. One main pressure is called FOMO, meaning the fear of missing out. Now that you're in college and a young adult, it is important to be responsible for your actions as there could be serious consequences. For instance, in the text, it says, national studies indicate 25% of college students have driven while intoxicated in the past month. The aftermath of drinking and driving can include loss of life, jail time, fines, probation, community service, and expulsion or suspension. As you go on in college, you must learn to be a presentable role model for those around you. It comes with a lot of benefits for you in the future as well. Like you can maintain a good reputation, you open doors to leadership roles, and beneficial to improving your well-being along with your mental health. Once you go off to college, remember to make good and smart decisions throughout college and remember these lessons so they aren't for nothing. Be safe and be responsible, and remember, you are never alone and you are strong enough. Sincerely, your younger me.
Both? I think your little niece likes to watch herself on TV.
She did.
Congratulations, Ivory. Nice
Thank
job.
you.
Thank you.
You did a great job.
Thank you.
And then last but not least, from Mount Hope Elementary, I have Mr. Mason Holton. Come on up, Mason and family. Do we need to adjust that a little bit?
It's good.
And then be sure and tell us who all is here with you today.
Hello, I brought my grandma, teacher, parents, and brothers. The DARE program is an important class that teaches kids how to make safe decisions. DARE stands for Drug Abuse Resistance Education and helps kids understand the dangers of drugs and alcohol. It also taught me how to say no to things that could harm me and how to make good choices. In this essay, I will talk about 3 of my favorite lessons I learned. One of my favorite lessons was about saying no to drugs. I learned that people might pressure me to try to do things that could harm me. It is important to stay strong and not give up. This lesson made me think about how I can stand up for myself and my friends. In the future, I will remember to stay confident and make decisions and not be embarrassed to say no if someone asks me to do drugs. Another lesson that I liked was peer pressure. The DARE officer taught us that peer pressure is when other people try to get us to do something you shouldn't do. Peer pressure can be just giving and saying yes. One way to avoid peer pressure is to say no. If someone ever tries to peer pressure me, I remember the DARE program and always make the right choices no matter what others say. The third lesson that I learned was how to be a good bystander. This happens when someone watches bullying behavior and reports it. One way to report the behavior is to go to and tell a trusted adult and tell them I have a problem. Another way is to try and get a person from being bullied away from the danger. For example, if my friend is getting bullied, I can ask my friend if he wants to go play with me. This would help me protect my friends without making it worse. The DARE program has taught me many important lessons that will help me make better choices in my future. From saying no to drugs to alcohol and resisting peer pressure and helping others if they're in danger. These skills will help me stay safe, healthy as I grow up. I feel confident that I can make good choices and encourage others to do the same like I was taught in DARE.
Congratulations, young man. Nice job. Great job.
Once again, thank you so much to all the Dear Readers. You guys were all phenomenal, and I appreciate you, and I'm proud of all of you.
Next, I'd like to have a motion to ratify my appointment as directors to the Waterbury Stormwater Community Improvement District. Anthony Bax to serve for a term to expire December of 2029. Russell Schaller to serve a term to expire December 2029. And Sharon Nickerson to serve for a term to expire December of 2029.
So moved, Kewen.
Ragsdale.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second by Councilman Ragsdale. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next, I'd like to have a motion to ratify my appointments as directors to the White Magnolia Community Improvement District. Patricia Knowles to serve to expire, term to expire October 26, 2029. Patrick Knowles to serve for a term to expire October 26, 2029. Conan Stott to serve for a term to expire October 26 of 2029. And Anthony Machaca to serve for a term to expire October 26, 2029.
So move, Wexler.
Costello.
Councilman Wexler, Councilman Cascella. Questions or comments? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Next is citizens' comments. I have one citizen's comment. Mr. Dinoff.
Good evening, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C. A.C. Dinoff, City Public Advocate running for City Council in April. I have a couple issues with the appointments that the mayor just went through. The appointment should be after citizen comments because I think citizens should weigh in whether these candidates are qualified or not. Let's go through the names. The first three are the Waterbury Community Improvement District, which is located off Missouri Highway K. Anthony Bax, Russell Schaefer, Sharon Nickerson, they all do live on Waterbury Falls Drive, and they live in the Waterbury's neighborhood, the Waterbury Falls neighborhood. So I'm okay with those three appointments. The next four appointments I have some issues with. The White Magnolia Community Improvement District is now occupied by residents in a neighborhood, and I think residents of that neighborhood should serve on this board. Let's look at Patricia Knowles. She lives in the village of Huntley Woods, located in St. Louis County, in an 8,000 square foot home valued at the current value of $4.5 million. It's not even an O'Fallon resident. Patrick Knowles, who I believe is the son of Patricia Knowles, does live on Waterbury Drive, right near the Waterbury Community Improvement District, but not within the White Magnolia Community Improvement District. And that puts up a lot of red flags and a lot of concerns. Conan Stott is a city employee, the deputy city clerk, but guess what? He doesn't live in the White Magnolia neighborhood. Conan Stott lives in Ward 5 of our city. Anthony Machaca is a city employee, director of communications, makes a six-figure salary. And again, he is not a resident of White Magnolia neighborhood. He is a Ward 2 resident living off a 364 frontage road. So that puts up a lot of red flags and a lot of problems. We should have people serving on boards and commissions that live in that geographical neighborhood or district. Resolution A on the agenda that you hide is $116,000 for 77 computers. Resolution B is $90,000 in salt. Resolution C is $138,500 for drilling, which is part of a $1.17 million or $1,017,000 drilling deal. Resolution D is $115,000 for water supplies. Resolution E is $622,000 for 13 vehicles, police vehicles, Broncos, and pickup trucks.
You have 15 seconds.
Resolution F is $5,087,000 for concrete streets. Resolution D is $266,000 for another 6 vehicles. Resolution A is $185,000 for a fifth wheel tractor truck.
Mr. Dinoff, your time's up.
And you need to start
Mr. Dinoff, your time is up, sir.
You can be nice and not rude.
Mr. Dinoff, your time is up.
Nice and not rude.
All right, brings us to ward reports. Ward 3.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd be in a lot of trouble if I didn't wish my wife and daughters a very happy Valentine's Day coming up this Saturday, and speak a little bit about an awesome opportunity I get to serve for Night to Shine this Friday, tomorrow, at my local church. Looking forward to a fun night. And during the season of love, I just encourage everybody to find something they're passionate about or something they can give back to, and focus on the greater good of our community. Thanks.
Thank you. Ward 4.
Thank you. I see on tonight's agenda they had a lot of annexation, so I thought I'd want to, spend this time to talk about it because I think, growth is part of a healthy city, but I think there's a difference between thoughtful and growth and unchecked expansion. There's a difference between strategic annexation and simply adding acreage because we can. I come from a blue-collar family, construction workers on mine and my husband's side, generations, trades, people who, work with their hands, built things and took pride in that work. And I realized the importance of development pertaining to the economy. And, so I'm not anti-construction or anything like that, but, I am anti-overdevelopment. I'm for common sense development, and smart planning. I'm against the idea that we should just build anything anywhere just because someone wants to build it. I think growth should be intentional. It should be planned, and it should make our city better, not just bigger. So no, I'm not anti-construction. I'm for listening to residents. Over and over again, residents have told us the same thing, that they want development, but they want good development, not projects that ignore traffic impacts, overwhelm infrastructure, disregard zoning standards, or lower the quality of life for the people who already live here. And those voices, they matter. I'm also tired of seeing our city end up in lawsuit after lawsuit because decision makers refuse to listen to work with the residents, assuming that they know better. That isn't smart growth. It's expensive, it's divisive, and it's completely avoidable. So supporting responsible development, I think, means asking the hard questions. I think it's following the rules. It means taking care of what we already have. It means smart planning before we approve projects, not after. And I think it means respecting the people who call this city home. So I just wanted to say, I'm not for being anti-construction. I'm just being pro-community. So that's what I want to say. So thank you.
Mr. Kewen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Friendly reminder for those of you who need that last minute idea for Valentine's Day this Saturday morning. That's right. On Valentine's Day, you can recycle those big electronics. Just bring them up to TR Hughes. There's going to be a parking lot on the side. Your wife or girlfriend or husband or boyfriend will love you for it. Get that big old TV, that big old tube TV that's still in your basement. Get rid of that sucker. That's all I have. Thanks.
Thank you. Ward 5.
Thank you, Mayor. And I'll add on to that. The following weekend is the bulk waste drop-off out at the transfer station. So when you're cleaning out, spring cleaning's kind of getting in the air. So clean out your garage. And that's going to be Saturday, February 21st from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. Thank you.
Ms. Ragsdale.
Thank you. Happy Valentine's Day to all of you lovebirds out there. Tuesday is Mardi Gras, so please be safe and no drinking and driving, because we would hate for our officers to have to arrest anybody, which means that Wednesday is Ash Wednesday. So to all of you who observe, I hope you have a very blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you. Ward 1,
Thank you, Mayor. Nothing for me today.
Mr. Roth.
Yeah, I got two small things I'd kind of like to. Got a lot of compliments for the city. I just want to put out to the street department and parks or whoever else was involved with all the snow removal. I had a lot of compliments on how the city got the streets pretty clean compared to the last few times. So I just want to give a hands up to all the guys that did the snow plowing, the shoveling, the salt and everything. I just want to say thank you to all of them. And then next Friday, after Ash Wednesday, all the fish fries start. I'm with the VFW up here across from Ethel's. I expect to see half you guys in this room up there buying some fish from us. If not, I'll be back here and you'll know it. Other than that, that's all I got.
Thanks, sir. Mr. Boyer, Ward 2.
Happy Valentine's Day this weekend. And that Night to Shine, another shout out to that. That's a very special event. I'll be participating as well. Get to be a buddy. It's cool. And then March 11th is the senior fair. So if you're interested, go online and find it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Brings to our city administrator's report. Mr. Snowden.
Thank you, Mayor. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the contributions of several staff members who are reaching milestone anniversaries this month. Police Officer Esther Stockdale and Parks Maintenance Worker Brian Reitmeyer have been with us for 5 years. Police Officer Kelsey Cruiser and Volunteer Coordinator Katie Jordan have served the citizens for 10 years. Street Maintenance Supervisor Craig Salonis and Parks Construction Supervisor Tim Snyders have been a part of Team O'Fallon for 25 years. Building Inspection Supervisor Scott Dabney has served our city for 30 years. And last but certainly not least, Police Sergeant Bill Stringer worked with us for 35 years and retired to the day last Friday. I want to thank all of these individuals for being such an integral part of Team O'Fallon for all of these years. And that's all I have tonight, sir.
Thank you. Comes to old business. We have a unified public hearing and a public comment to consider the rezoning of a certain tract of land and to consider granting a conditional use permit for property located at 507 Sondern Street, Stevens Place. Someone here to present this? Give us name and address for the record.
Yes, sir. Jeff Simmons, Bax Engineering, 221 Point West Boulevard, St. Charles. Mayor, City Council, thanks for the opportunity to present the rezoning and conditional use permit for consideration for Stevenson Place. You may recall that this property has been before you before as an apartment proposal. We're back here tonight to present a similar project, though with for sale townhomes, as that was requested during some of the comments. So the property is located behind 5 Star Electric on Sondern Street. It's outlined here in yellow. One of the biggest conversations regarding this project throughout has been the placement of fill by the owner. We have met recently with Todd Arts, the Assistant Director of Engineering. The developer was there, Bax Engineering, Kiesel Excavating, and SCI Engineering were all there. And we've developed a plan to remediate the fill. So we've submitted a preliminary erosion control plan to Mr. Arts. Kiesel has provided a proposal to the developer to remove and replace the fill. And SCI Engineering will be engaged to monitor that fill as it's placed. And so what they're planning to do is take out sections of the dirt that was placed previously, take out some of that at a time, put it to the side, and then replace it and recompact it to city standards. That way you can ensure that it was placed and it will be monitored by the geotechnical engineer. So very similar to what we prepared and presented previously, but again, these will be for sale townhomes. We're requesting the rezoning to CO because a residential zoning requires a public street. Right now, this property is behind other businesses and there is not sufficient room for a public street. It is served by a 30-foot wide private easement. With a commercial zoning and a conditional use permit for residential in a commercial zoning. That allows us to make that access private and utilize the 30 feet that's available to us. As part of that, you'll notice there's a parking lot that's off of our proposed site. That is relocated spaces from next to Five Star Electric where that access road will occur. There's currently a electric pole in the middle of the intersection. That will be relocated and this area paved over to create a wider entrance for the proposed townhomes. So what we're proposing, 16 townhomes for sale, one street with a hammerhead meeting the fire district requirements. Some of the comments we received were regarding additional trees around the buffers. We're going to add those as well as a fence along the top of the retaining wall next to the basin. And that will keep headlights from shining into the backyards of the adjacent property owners. Along the western edge of the property, there will also be an additional fence placed between the townhomes and the existing residential. The townhomes will be very similar to apartments built by the developer along Highway P that have been built and are fully rented out. So utilizing that concept, but in a for sale situation. And these are just pictures of what those look like. I do have the developer here to answer questions as well. And I understand this is a public hearing, so I step aside and.
That's it.
Oh, sorry.
Questions for Jeff before we move on? All right, go ahead and step aside. I have one person, Mr. Dinoff.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. You know, this has been going on for a number of months. This project puts up a lot of red flags. It was never done correctly in the first place. There were not the proper permits gathered to move earth, to do compaction, to make sure that the proper agencies and the proper authorities were part of the process to begin with. It was almost done overnight in secrecy, so they probably thought nobody'd find out. Well, you know what? There's a couple agencies that are looking into this and in doing active investigations. One is the Missouri Department of Natural Resources. They have some severe concerns about building issues, about building foundations, and if not foundations, building a two-story building on property that is now going to be retro mitigated because guess what? They got caught. So that means that kind of tells me that they're unscrupulous developers and they try to cut corners. So if they're going to cut corners on filling of this property, which this property has a ton of issues to begin with, it's undevelopable in my opinion. If they're going to cut corners here, are they going to cut corners in construction and put our residents who are going to buy these townhomes in jeopardy? What if there's a collapse? I believe the city of O'Fallon will be liable and responsible and accountable because you let it happen. And so this remediation process, this entire process, there are state laws, promulgated rules and regulations that are clearly designed to protect residents of future development. Those promulgated rules and regulations of the Missouri Department of Revenue, guess what? They thumbed their nose. They said, the heck with the laws. We're going to do what we want. And we're going to do it on our accord and to our specifications. I'm against this rezoning. I'm against this preliminary plat. It stinks. It doesn't make sense. It's not a viable option for this property or the neighborhood or the adjoining neighborhoods who have tremendous property values at stake here. Their property values will plummet 20 to 30 to 40% if this is approved by the city council. I can go on and on about this property and about how there's a lot of red flags, how there were things that were violated, skirted around, not getting the proper permits or the proper
You
inspections.
have 15 seconds.
And so you need to do the right thing and protect our community. And I ask that you turn down this rezoning and turn down the preliminary plat that also was, I believe, turned down by the planning and zoning. I forgot to get those votes. It's clear.
Enough, your time's
Thank
up,
you.
sir. Thank you. I have no other hearings for this item, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and public comment. Questions for Jeff? Amanda?
This was denied by P&Z, correct?
That is correct.
And I know one thing is the filling. Do you, I guess there's no process to go back to P&Z after you've, I mean, this whole filling thing. I'm just going to be honest, because I don't feel comfortable voting in favor of it, you know, being denied by planning and zoning.
Sure. So the process is that we have the opportunity to come before the council, even with a negative recommendation from planning and zoning, and plead our case to the council. And then the council will make a vote and determine whether this project should move forward.
David, the site plan was denied too also, wasn't it not? So that
Yes, it was.
would they have to come back to P and Z for the site plan?
If the rezoning and this conditional use, it would have to go back as a new site plan. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Brings to Bill 7819. This is on the table. Do I have a motion to remove it from the table?
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler. Do I have a second?
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Motion and second to introduce Bill 7819.
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Wexler, please present the bill.
Bill number 7819, an ordinance providing the rezoning of a certain tract of land located at 507 Sondern Street, owned by Michael Schneider, from R1 Single Family Residential District Downtown Overlay to CO Office District Downtown Overlay.
Thank you. Brings to Bill 7820. This is on the table. Do I have a motion second to remove it?
Wexler.
Motion by Councilman Wexler, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion passes. Motion second to introduce Bill 7820.
Roth.
Motion by Councilman Roth, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Roth, please present the bill.
Bill number 7820, an ordinance granting a conditional use permit to the Stevenson Place Homeowners Association to allow dwellings in non-residential zone structures in a CO office district downtown overlay under certain conditions on a certain tract of land located at 507 Southern Sondern Street within the city of O'Fallon, Missouri.
Thanks, sir. Questions or comments on the committee and commission reports? Seeing none, we stand as read. Questions or comments on the consent calendar?
Motion to approve, Kewen.
Second, Costello.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second by Councilman Cascala. Council members, please cast your vote. Amanda?
The voting's closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Consent calendar has been approved. Brings us to new business. Brings Bill 7826. Motion for first reading.
Costello.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Cascala, please present the bill.
Bill number 7826, an ordinance approving a petition for voluntary annexation filed by Aaron and Sherry Moore regarding certain property contiguous and compact to the city of O'Fallon, Missouri, and generally located at 74 Gallup Lane.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7827. Motion for first reading.
Costello.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Cascala, please present the bill.
Bill number 78, an ordinance approving a petition for voluntary annexation filed by Caballo Farm regarding certain property contiguous and compact to the city of O'Fallon, Missouri, and generally located on Gallup Lane.
Thank you. Brings to Bill 7828. Motion for first reading.
Costello.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Cascola, please present the bill.
Bill number 7828, an ordinance approving a petition for voluntary annexation filed by Jeff Lappy regarding certain property contiguous and compact to the city of O'Fallon, Missouri, and generally located along Gallup Lane.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7829. Motion for first reading.
Cascola.
Motion by Cascola, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Cascola, please present the bill.
Bill number 7829, an ordinance approving a petition for voluntary annexation filed by Mary E. Sudbrock Lucido Trust regarding certain property contiguous and compact to the city of O'Fallon, Missouri, and generally located on Gallup Lane.
Thank you. Next is a unified public hearing and a public comment to consider the rezoning and area plan approval for a certain tract of land located to the west of Harvest at Hopewell subdivision near Dyer Road, owned by Jeffrey G. Lappy, Caballo Farms Incorporated, Mary L. Sudbrock, Lucido Trust, and Aaron and Sherry Moore from unincorporated, proposed to be annexed to R1 PUD Single Family District and excuse me, and family R1 PUD Single Family Residential District Planned Unit Development. Is there someone here to present this?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the City Council. My name is Jeremy Roth with McBride Homes, 17415 North Outer 40 in Chesterfield, Missouri. And I'm excited to be here tonight to present our newest project in the city of O'Fallon, Caballo Farms. So just a couple things on McBride Homes. Obviously, the city of O'Fallon is familiar with McBride, but I did want to note that we are celebrating our 80th anniversary this year. And this newest project, I think literally, I don't know what the exact number is, but I believe we built thousands of homes in the state of O'Fallon. So excited to present our newest project tonight. So this is a 94-acre property. It's currently in unincorporated St. Charles County. We're looking to annex the property into the city of O'Fallon, and we're here to ask for an annexation and to zone the property to R1 PUD. So this is, I'm going to try to get full screen here. There we go. So the yellow dot there represents the property in the southwestern portion of the city, just west of the existing Harvest community in the city of O'Fallon, south of Highway N, west of Hopewell Road. Here's an aerial of the 94 acres. You can see the Harvest community to the east that's currently and vacant agricultural to the west and north. Just another aerial, I wanted to show this one. This is a recent aerial of Harvest community. So you can see that we're developing and starting phase 2 of Harvest, but there's no existing homes yet adjacent to the Caballo Farms property. I'd also note Darting Creek bounds the property to the south, so there will be no expansion or no growth further south of this. And then, like I mentioned, west of this is vacant agricultural. Here's the site in relation to the city's zoning map. You can see the development patterns in this portion of the city. There is a lot of R1 PUD as the city has grown in this area, this corridor. That's that tan color is R1, and then the crosshatched is R1 PUD. So here's the site plan. We are really excited about this site plan. I think the number one reason we're excited about it is all the common ground and green space. And you can see that in kind of that dark hunter green color there. So we have the lots. There's 3 distinct villages of different product lines. We're offering our Heritage Series, our Bayside Series, and our Oakwood Series. There's 276 total home sites, all detached, single family. These are all homes and products that we built many times in O'Fallon before. Access to the site. So currently, the property owners use a gravel road called Gallup Lane from Highway N. We will be using Deer Road. We extended Deer Road when we developed the Harvest community. This would be a further extension of Deer Road. And then there's also a Stubb Street Country House Drive in the Harvest community. And those will be the 2 main access points to the property and the project. We have a lot of amenities within the community. Number one, we have a playground, pavilion, a ton of common ground, like I mentioned. There's a lake, a retention lake on the southern end of the site. There's plenty of stormwater contemplated for the design. There's 8 total stormwater basins, including that lake. And we do plan to develop the site in 3 phases. So I know there was questions through the process at Planning Commission on why a PUD, and I think the best explanation, and this is taken straight from the city code, and just to go down, and these are the objectives of a PUD within the city code: to permit flexibility in site design, check; to achieve more efficient use of land, check; to encourage open space. We have a ton of open space. To protect and preserve natural features, absolutely. To provide a variety and balance of housing types with the 3 villages, very sustainable community with different product types. To provide variety and location of buildings and roads, check. To increase vehicular and pedestrian safety by reducing intersections, yes. And then finally, to reduce land costs per dwelling unit in residential developments, and again, yes. So again, straight from the city code on the objectives of a PUD. Through some of the conversations with staff, we did talk about, hey, what would a straight zoning look like? And this is what a straight zoning would look like. So this is the property with the same amount of homes, and you can see the grid pattern of the streets, no common ground, no open space. Additionally, there would be over 3,000 feet of additional pavement, sewer, and water to maintain. So not very smart. The PUD is definitely the smarter plan when it comes to utilizing the site and the natural features. I mentioned the amenities, so this is just a zoomed in screenshot of the amenities. So we do have that pavilion and playground, parking lot. This will also serve as the mail kiosk area. That'll be covered, and plenty of designated parking for that as well. And just a look of what the amenities could look like. So again, all that open space for the residents to use, playground, pavilion, and then that lake on the southern end, that would be a great amenity as well. So project features, I've hit on some of these, but just to touch on a few, highlight a few: 39.3 acres of common ground, which is over 41% of the site. And I think my favorite stat, over 80% of these lots will back to common ground. So 80% will back to common ground, not back to back, lot to lot. We also have almost 39% tree preservation. The PUD requires 20, so we're almost doubling that requirement. And then a lot of buffers, and go back to the site plan, you'll see all the common ground buffers, but not only internally, but externally. So between Caballo Farms and Harvest had a 20-foot common ground strip already. We're proposing another 25 common ground strip along that common property line. So that's 45 feet of common ground. There's a nice tree line there. And that's a 45-foot buffer between the backs of lots between Harvest and Caballo Farms. Just to look at the densities of the surrounding communities, these are all approved communities in this area. So Harvest, I mentioned that's 3.43 units to the acre. Autumn Hollow, which is in the county, 5.03 units to the acre. Oakshire, also in the county, 4.63 units to the acre. Post Farms in the city of O'Fallon, 2.96 units to the acre. And our proposal tonight, Caballo Farms, 2.93 units to the acre. So the lowest out of all of those active communities. I know there's questions and discussion on infrastructure. Can the infrastructure handle this development? We've met with PWSD, who provides water. We've met with Duckett Creek, who provides sewer. A resounding yes from both of those. They are looking for more homes with that new sewer plant. So absolutely sewer and water. Obviously, the big question is roads and traffic. With all this development, can the roads and traffic handle it? Those improvements are coming. They are happening. They are in the works. Just some screenshots here of those items. So the signal at Hopewell and N slated to start this spring. The widening of Hopewell Road. That'll be wider lanes, shoulders, turning lanes. That will be complete by the end of this calendar year, 2026. And then obviously the biggest question, Highway N. What's going on with Highway N? St. Charles County is working with East-West Gateway, and they have put this at the top of their priority list. So this is the top of the county's priority list to improve Highway N. Yes, we acknowledge it's needed, but it is happening. The quote from this post on the county's website, they're pushing for a 2027 groundbreaking. We will not have homes, absolute best case, we won't have residents living here till the end of 2027, but more likely the beginning of 2028. I'd also note that we have shown this project to MoDOT. They do not have any initial concerns. So just to talk about the homes again, we've built these time and time again in O'Fallon, our Heritage Series, our Bayside Series, our Oakwood Series. But each one of those series has different floor plans to choose from, and then each one of those floor plans has 5 or 6 different elevations to choose from. So you look at that, all the combinations you can have in the Heritage Series, 29 different combinations, Bayside, 47 different combinations, Oakwood, 27 different combinations. So really to get that variety on the streetscape. And
You got 1 minute.
Here's some quick pictures. I always like to tout our design studio where all our buyers go to finalize their selections within the home. Just very quickly, we do comply with the comprehensive plan. That's in the staff report. There's some items that absolutely we comply with, increase the diversity of housing, adding new housing types, and preserving and supporting the unique identity of each neighborhood in the city. And then just in closing, I would say that staff did recommend approval of this plan. And last Thursday at Planning Commission, it was a resounding vote of approval of 10-1. They do believe this is smart growth for the city of O'Fallon. Those are the types of questions that the Planning Commission asked, and it was a resounding yes at Planning Commission. So appreciate your consideration of this project, and I'm here to answer any questions.
Questions for Jeremy? Miss Amanda?
I guess my big question is, why annex in O'Fallon? I mean, you can build this in St. Charles County, right? I mean, it's in unincorporated St. Charles County. Did you go to them first and propose this?
No, we came here first. We like building in the city of O'Fallon. We have a long history building in the city of O'Fallon. The harvest communities in the city of O'Fallon, it's been a tremendous success. Since the middle part of 2024, we've constructed almost 250 homes in the harvest community, all in O'Fallon. So no, O'Fallon's our first choice.
I had some other notes here I made. You mentioned the Highway In project, and you're not having residents in there till like the end of 2027. But also the Highway In project, they talk about groundbreaking in 2027 and not complete their first phase into 2029. In your first phase of building, how many houses will you have?
We haven't determined the exact phases yet, but
Okay.
it'd be approximately a third of the total site.
I'm just really worried about, I mean, I think all of us unanimously know that Highway N is a mess. It's chaotic now. And just adding, residents and these amount of people on the roads is kind of, in my mind, putting the cart before the horse. Have you done any impact, like traffic studies, even on Deer Road?
We do. It is a requirement to perform a traffic study for this project, and we will be performing that traffic study, and we'll have to comply with any recommendations in that traffic study. But again, speaking to the county, speaking to MoDOT, there's no concerns because, again, the improvements are coming.
I tell you what I do like. I watched some of the P&Z on this and some of the price points. That it was like 200, 300,000, because I know we had someone talk from Habitat Humanity that in St. Charles County, there's only like 45 homes under 300K. So that was definitely something I did like, bringing more affordable housing. But like I said, I just worry about the timing and the traffic. I also wanted to make a point because you said in the P&Z about the comprehensive plan. And I found it interesting that you brought that up because it also states that in the comprehensive plan that the focus is on residential infill development to support population growth rather than expanding the city's boundaries. So I just wanted to make sure, I pointed that out in there too. But yeah, so thank you.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Jeremy, if you would step aside, this is a public hearing. Just a reminder to everybody, you have 3 minutes. Mr. Dienoff.
Thank you very much, members of council. It was kind of interesting last week at Planning and Zoning. Mr. Roth had the audience stacked with contractors and suppliers saying and touting all how great he was Well, you know what? McBride and Sons touts themselves in getting the home up as fast or faster than any other builder in the nation. I have some issues with some of their quality construction from people that I know that have McBride and Sons homes. Sometimes they put them up way too fast and forget about that quality construction. You know, folks, on the city council, it's about responsible, sensible, and smart growth. You all keep forgetting that because of Jeremy's contributions to certain members on the city council, including the mayor. Look it up, Missouri Ethics Commission. You take 276 homes times 3 vehicles, that's 823 vehicles that you're going to put on a safety ridden issue on the state's busiest state highway, Highway N, that needs much needed upgrades to highway standards. And it won't start till 2027, 2028, if we're lucky. It won't be completed until 2032. The PUD, Plain Unit Development, Mr. Roth and his company have not proved a hardship. There are no obstacles, no land issues, no rock, no development issue barriers that I can find or that he's expressed. Chapter 89 of the revised state statutes clearly talks about PUDs and hardships, and he did not meet one iota of that hardship. By giving him a PUD rather than an R1, waives all the rules, giving the developer, Mr. Roth, a free pass to do over whatever he wants to do. Lots squeezed as tightest and compact as they possibly can get. The homeowner wants to deviate and have special rules and regulations granted to him. 4,600 square foot lots, 5,300 square foot lots, 7,200 on the mansions. The front yard frontage from 80 foot to 40 foot, which is ridiculous. The front setback, 25 foot, which is right on a roadway. The rear setback from 25 feet to 20 feet. Rear yard setback, 5 feet. Reach out and touch your neighbor. The Wentzville School District, I talked to them last week. They don't have accommodations or the room to take on the additional 150 projected students of this development. Affordable housing, what a joke. $280,000, Mr. Ross said, to $750,000 is not affordable housing.
You have 10 seconds.
The average value is $450,000. And what about the financial constraints? $1 for services, we only get 67 cents recouped in taxes.
Mr. Dinoff.
We're having
Dinoff,
a
your
financial
time's up,
loss.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Rose Zuck. Rose?
My name's Rose Zuck. I think it's really great that the landowners came together, 4 of them, and combined and became Caballo Farms. Voluntarily, which is good. But we're talking about 95 acres, minus right-of-way, minus the detention pond, minus the unusable portion in the floodplain. So now you're only talking about 63 to 64 acres that 276 homes are going to go on. But I also read it was supposed to be 293, so I'm not sure which number is correct. They approved, or I thought you guys approved, not you, but the P&Z for going from 10,000 square feet to 4,600. Well, 10,000 is almost a quarter acre. 20,000 is almost a half acre. But now you're putting it to 4,600 square feet. What is that? An eighth of an acre? So you're going to have really small lots for these homes. And I keep hearing that, yeah, it's okay because people don't want to mow their yards. They don't want to have all that maintenance. But some people do. So having our houses so close together, you can touch your neighbor. So that was it.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Aaron Moore.
And happy Valentine's Day to you all coming up pretty soon. My name is Aaron Moore, and I am a husband, a father, and a business owner in O'Fallon. I've been a business owner since 2013 in O'Fallon. I support this project because I want to see more affordable, single-family detached homes in O'Fallon. It's good for families, it's good for business, it's good for our community. That's all I got. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Next speaker is Dave Lucido.
Good evening. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity. David Lucido, 5627 Holly Hills, St. Louis, Missouri. I'm in support of this bill, or this bill, because I think it'll include or increase the number of jobs in the area, increase tax revenue for the city, and also provide additional affordable homes. Thank you. That's all I have.
Thank you. Next speaker is Liz Rosano.
Hello, my name's Liz Rosario, and I currently live in the city of O'Fallon, particularly in the Harvest subdivision. If it wasn't for Harvest, I would not be living there, and I have my teenage daughter here with me who goes to the Wentzville School District, and she's thriving. And I do support this project for future homeowners to have affordable housing. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Scott Masterson.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. Thanks for allowing us to speak. I provide mirrors, shower doors, and wire shelving for a lot of the McBride homes. They use union labor. They help build a tremendous offering for a beautiful subdivision, much unlike a lot of apartment projects and the same cookie cutter homes. The small businesses will benefit from the increase of the population here. I support this project. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Alex Bath? Nope.
Alex Bath?
Yes. Just to know how to pronounce it.
Thank you for letting me speak here tonight. As the mayor said, my name is Alex Bath. I'm here representing MR Bath Electric. We are located at 1521 Progress West Lane, right here in O'Fallon. We've been doing McBride's work for the better part of 25 years now. I can personally attest as a field electrician myself to the quality of their homes. Echoing everything that everybody else has said, McBride builds a quality home. This subdivision is going to have plenty of green space. With the fixes coming to Highway N, I can't see any good reason not to go forward with this, and we are in support of this project. Thank you.
Sir. Okay, Alexandra. Give us your name and address for the record, please.
Thank you. Alexandra Hart. I am a property owner of Highway N and Gallup Lane. I've been a property owner for over 29 years. So I've seen a lot of growth in the area. When I had my property, there was nothing. I mean, we would ride our horses up and down. I have to say, the community, and earlier today, the presentation of the kids, O'Fallon is amazing. The school districts in the area are amazing. McBride, their project of Harvest, if you go through there, they have walking trails, pavilions, pickleball. There are green space. The plans that they have for Gaballo Farms offers a lot of green space, a pond, walking trails. I mean, they really do a solid project with really the construction and trying to keep community together. The affordable homes, I think, are really important. My own family member was here last week. She lived in O'Fallon for 7 years. They were expanding their home, adding another child. They needed a larger home. They looked for 2 years. They ended up moving to Lincoln County, which was very disappointing. So we do need the affordable homes here, and we hope that you consider approving the bill. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Keith Witter.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. My name's Kirk Whitner. I'm going to say happy Valentine's to my wife who just spoke. She's beautiful and she's an eloquent speaker, better than myself. I share all of her sentiments. I've enjoyed the land and the community, and I can tell you that we've said no along the way. We've met with a lot of the developers, and it's not met our standards or our likes. And when we were approached recently, or in the last so many months, by McBride with this particular look and more space and the way the land was going to be used, we certainly supported it, and we think it's time. So we hope you support it. Thank you.
Thank you. Next speaker is Tori Oliver.
Hello. My name's Tori Oliver, address 113 Cobble Road. I live over off Highway P. I've been a O'Fallon homeowner for about 10 years, and I am in support of this community. We currently have a McBride home and are wanting to expand, or actually downsize, but a nicer home because our kids are about to graduate from high school. So we're looking to kind of have our adult house, and having a community where we have some more green space and less neighbors behind us, some more open areas behind us is kind of what we're looking for. So I'm hoping that if this gets approved, we can start looking in this community as well. So in support.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next speaker is Angie Carter.
Good evening. I'm Angie Carter, an O'Fallon homeowner, and I am proud to say that. And I raised all 4 of my boys in O'Fallon. They're all adults now. Thank God I made it. But I don't have them all out of the house yet. But they need this type of subdivision. They want to live in this area. I have 4 boys, but they're all very different. So they need this kind of variety in this neighborhood. I pray I could get them all in the same neighborhood. That would be awesome, but I don't know if they'll listen to me about that. But that's why I like this kind of community. It's very similar to Harvest too, which I love and I think looks beautiful. I have a teacher in the Fort Zumwalt School District. I have a teacher in the Wentzville School District. I have 2 of my kids that would probably love the smaller lot because they're not going to take care of a large yard, but they get back to common ground. Perfect for them. I have one that kind of wants that mid-size, and then I have one that's a completely outdoor kid, and he's going to want the bigger home on a bigger lot. So I think this offers that kind of variety for several different homeowners, and I think it's great, and I hope you do approve it.
Thank you. Next speaker is Brian Trail.
Hi. I've lived in O'Fallon most of my life, and I've worked here all my life. I'm representing Rainbow Painting. We've done work for McBride Homes for 25 years, and not to mention how great the community would be for O'Fallon, but all the man hours that it would give men and women working on those houses to feed their families. So it'd be a great thing for the entire community.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Next speaker is RJ Cowling.
Thank you, Mayor. My name is RJ Cowling with Cowling Garbo. We are here to support McBride. We pour foundations and flat work for them. I believe that this community is going to be a good representation of what O'Fallon stands for with all the space and different stuff. It should be no surprise that for the most part, people marvel at how O'Fallon is and how you spread out. And this is why people want to live here and why you have people knocking on your door trying to build and live within your communities. I think it's a great fit, a great compliment to your city.
Thanks, sir. Ben Roberts.
Evening. I'm Ben Roberts. Right now, I'm a resident in O'Fallon. I've been living here for 11 years. I've been employed by Rainbow Painting and McBride Homes, and I raised my family with McBride and Rainbow Painting. And I think it's a good thing that they're building these affordable homes close to my house, and it makes it easy to raise a family. It's a good thing. I'm for it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Andrew Cartcamp.
Hi, I'm Andrew Courtcamp. I own Revolutionary Builders based here in O'Fallon. It's a union carpentry company. We have about 130 quality union carpenters that would all benefit off this project a lot. I also want to add, I live about 5 minutes down the road from where this project will hopefully be, and I love living here, and I think there should be some more homes and more people to come and enjoy O'Fallon. Thank you.
Sir. Next speaker is Mark Gow.
Good evening. We employ about 200 people.
You give us your name and address.
I'm sorry, Mark Gow. I do not live in O'Fallon, but our company is in Earth City, Missouri, and we employ around 200 people. We've been in business since 1932. We do a lot of work for McBride. We do a lot of work for a lot of builders. But of the 200 employees, after the planning and zoning meeting, I went back and I talked to our HR, and I'm like, how many people live in St. Charles and O'Fallon? Over 37% of our employees live and work in the community. A lot of them live here in O'Fallon. We are for this. I have trucks. I'm sure you've seen our trucks driving up and down the road in your city. We're buying gas. They're buying fuel. They're buying food. Their families live here. They live here. Ms. Taylor, you mentioned about pride. Well, all of ours, it brings pride to a lot of these people. You hear that from behind us. We already heard that they're living and working in the community. So we're very much for it. Our company's for it. My employees are for it.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And our last speaker is Christy Nally. Okay.
Hello, I'm Christy Nally with Metro Lighting. We are at 1029 East Terra. We've been in the O'Fallon area over 25 years and in business around St. Louis over 50 years. We are definitely for this project. It's going to bring in more revenue, more homes, more affordable housing as far as people being able to stay in the community and being able to move up and stay around the area. Pro tax dollars, and we're 100% in support for this.
Thank you. We have no other speakers, so we'll go ahead and close the public hearing and public comment. Come on back up. I was waiting for the train to go by. Any other comments?
I don't have anything else, Mayor.
Questions from the council? Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
Brings to Bill 7830. Motion for first reading?
Costello.
Motion by Costello, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Costello, please present the bill.
Bill number 7830, an ordinance providing for the rezoning and area plan approval for a certain tract of land located to the west of Harvest at Hopewell subdivision near Deer Road, owned by Jeffrey G. Lappy, Caballo Farms Incorporated, Mary E. Sudbrock Lucido Trust, and Aaron and Sherry Moore from unincorporated, proposed to be annexed to R1 PUD, Single Family Residential District Planned Unit Development.
Thank you, sir. Next is public hearing to consider the rezoning of a certain tract of land located at 401 East Wabash Avenue and owned by Alleluia Baskets Incorporated from I-1 Light Industrial District Downtown Overlay to C2 General Business District Downtown Overlay. Is there someone here to present this? I won't start your time until,
No, I understand. Take that. I motion I go before them next time.
all right, give us your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name's Todd Messler. I live in St. Peters, Missouri. I'm the general contractor that's going to be doing the addition to Hallelujah Baskets. And I'm the contractor because I'm married to the founder of the nonprofit. So, and I do residential contracting anyway. But we went through planning and zoning, and we got recommendation from the planning and zoning and the board to rezone from light industrial to commercial 2. The reason we want commercial 2 is it allows us to build closer to the property lines. We back up to the railroad. We also back up to Sondra there. So we're not going to really affect anything by expanding close to our property lines. But the main reason we're looking for that rezoning is so that we can add an addition onto the back of our existing building. We just need the space. The Hallelujah Baskets, they provide Easter baskets for children that wouldn't normally get them. And over the last year, they did almost 20,000 Easter baskets, and it's been growing every year. So it's a year-round operation. So as soon as Easter's done and you see all those 90% off sales, they're there buying it. And so we have a lot of we have to store stuff for a long period of time. And then once they assemble the baskets and pack them up before the people come get them to take them to their different missions and stuff, we have to store them. So we just need the extra space, and that's why we're looking for that zoning.
Okay. Thank you. Questions from the council? Mr. Wexler.
Not a question, just a comment. Love your guys' mission. Love what you guys do.
Thanks.
Thanks for being here in
They
O'Fallon.
do a great job. Yeah.
Mr. Kewen.
Yeah, and likewise, I'm familiar with your business, and I'm tickled to death that you have the need to expand. To me, that's a wonderful thing to hear.
Yeah, we love being in O'Fallon.
Anybody else? If you would step aside, this is public hearing. Mr. Dinoff.
Thank you very much, members of council. My name is Arnie C., AC Dinoff, City Public Advocate. You know, this entity is a outstanding community organization. They provide a lot to our community. They're a not-for-profit. I believe they're a 401c3 designated by the federal government as non-taxable exempt. They do great deeds for people who are less fortunate and don't have some of the things when it comes to Easter time. When it comes to, I don't have any opposition to their application or expansion of their warehouse. I think they deserve it. And I also think that you as elected officials need to give them a break. Since they do not profit from their business, since they rely on donations and rely on the community to help them out, I would ask the city council at the next meeting, the second reading of this bill, that you do something good, a good deed for someone else or other people that are in need. I ask that you waive all the application fees for the Planning and Zoning Commission application, all the public notice and publication fees that they had to pay, their business license, their inspection services, and I'm also going to ask the O'Fallon Fire Protection District to waive their inspection services by their fire marshal, building inspector. I don't think that they should have to pay since they're giving back good deeds to the community, growing our community, helping the less fortunate. I've never seen this council give something. I've seen you take, but I've never actually, or spend, but I've never actually seen you give back to probably one of the best organizations that I know that deserves a hand up, that deserves a pat on the back, that they're doing a great job, and to waive the several hundreds of dollars, maybe over $1,000 in fees and inspection services and licenses that you're milking from this not-for-profit industry. I ask you to do that, and I ask you to think about it over the next 2 weeks. Let's do something good for a change. I'm all for this application. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other public speakers. Any other questions for the applicant? Go ahead and close the public hearing. Brings us to Bill 7831, motion for first reading.
Roth.
Motion by Councilman Roth, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Roth, please present the bill.
Bill number 7831, an ordinance providing for the rezoning of a certain tract of land located at 401 East Wabash Avenue and owned by Alua Baskets Incorporated. From an I-1 light industrial district downtown overlay to a C2 general business district downtown overlay.
Thank you. Next is a public hearing to consider the rezoning of a portion of a certain tract of land located at 3 White Oak Lane, owned by David and Anna Kelly, from C1 Restricted Business District to C2 General Business District. There's someone here to present this. Give us your name and address for the record, please.
Good evening. My name is Brandon Goldberg. I'm with Greenberg Farrow. We're located at 8600 West Bryn Mawr Avenue in Chicago, Illinois, 60631. We are the designers for the existing Texas Roadhouse building. We are also the designers for the proposed parking lot addition that is to occur adjacent to the site. Texas Roadhouse is looking to purchase the site. It's less than an acre, and redevelop it for additional parking stalls for the existing restaurant. And we are seeking to have this site transition from a C1 residential business district to a C2 general business district. And I'm here to answer any questions you might have.
Questions for Brendan? Mr. Keown?
Yeah, I haven't looked at the planning and zoning report yet. I will before the next meeting, however. What are you doing to buffer that parking lot from the adjacent residents that are going to be behind that parking lot?
Yes. We are going to add a identical fence, as you can see there now, and it'll go around the parking lot adjacent to all the residential neighbors. We will provide code required landscaping between the parking stalls and the fence to add that additional layer or buffer.
Okay, I mean, I'm just looking at the plan, and to me, the plan looks like it's the bare minimum between the parking lots and the property line. I assume that's the case, and I get it. You want to have as many parking spaces as you can get, because I've been to the restaurant many times. I know that parking can be quite challenging, but I'm just wondering aloud if there's something that can be done to better buffer sound, for example. I don't know what that might look like, but that distance makes me a little uncomfortable.
Yes, and it's actually one of our conditions. It's not shown on the plan, but we will, when we resubmit, technically we need a 10-foot buffer.
Okay.
So that's what we're going to show on our
Glad
next
to hear that.
vision.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Mr. Wexler?
Thank you. I don't really have anything more than what Jeff said. I just want to reiterate that. We definitely need to make sure we're buffering properly against those houses back there. I want to be a good neighbor. You know, they're not in O'Fallon, but we just still need to be a good neighbor.
Absolutely.
Just want to put it on record. Thank you.
Anybody else? Brandon, if you would step aside. Yep. Mr. Dinoff?
Thank you very much, members of council. Arnie C., AC Dinoff, City Public Advocate. We knew that this was going to be the inevitable when they built their second restaurant because they outgrew their first restaurant on Mexico Loop. They stated as part of their future plan, if there'd be backups and not the necessary parking on the new facility, that they would expand their parking lot. They were very upfront, very transparent, unlike other developers and some business plans that come before this process. They were very transparent a number of years ago. You have to keep cognizant that their establishment is the #1 restaurant paying the largest sales tax in the restaurant category for our city. If you all look almost any night during the week, east and westbound Mexico Road, you see backups. You see people going around and around in their parking lot trying to find parking spots. It's a challenge. I've seen accidents happen on Mexico Road because of the backups. I applaud the establishment for doing the right thing, for buying the necessary grounds, and for expanding their parking lot to accommodate the public. It's about public safety, reducing backups, and providing adequate accommodations for their patrons. They said they're going to put up a fence. It does abut to a residential development. I believe one of the owners is still going to reside on that property. He's subdividing his large parcel. We need to respect that neighborhood. And I would ask the applicant to put in all the appropriate trees and landscaping, which I believe he committed to doing. But I would ask him to go above and beyond what our city code and what our minimum code tells him to do. Go ahead and put another 25 or 30% more. I think you have a great following, a great number of O'Fallon residents who enjoy your establishment. It's good that you can give back to community and do the right thing for the adjoining residential neighborhood. For those reasons, Mr. Mayor, I fully support this expansion of the parking lot and their application. Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is David Timpson.
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. My name is David Timpson. I'm a 5.5-year resident in the neighborhood of Whispering Hills that's impacted by this proposal. As Councilman Wexler stated, we are not residents of O'Fallon. We're neighbors of O'Fallon, which means we're not taxpayers, which means this is an uphill battle for me. This is the only outlet I have to come and voice my frustration, my neighbor's frustration with this development. The last time I was here and spoke in front of the council, it was about the same development. And since then, we've seen traffic, as indicated by Mr. Dienoff, gotten much worse on Mexico Road. We've seen traffic in our neighborhood from this, people missing the restaurant, trying to find parking like anywhere they can on streets and residential areas, endangering my kids. We like walking around this neighborhood. That's why we moved here. We've seen an abandoned building that still is not filled and still standing in the parking lot of Home Depot. It's an eyesore to the community. In addition to that, I mean, personally, I don't like the smell of grilled food in my backyard. I don't like the light pollution in my kids' windows. The last time I mentioned this, Mr. Goldberg said they did all kinds of light studies. Well, I can't believe I'm having to play he said, she said with the light coming into my house, but here we are. I mean, I guess they didn't knock on my door and ask me to come in and look. But we have blackout shades now that help with that. But you know, this proposal just a few years later to expand, you know, my neighbors and I came in here to oppose the first one. We knew that this was going to happen. They're going to ask for more. They're going to want more. And here we are talking about more. So I would ask you guys in the council to consider the needs of your neighbors, to cease encroaching into this beautiful neighborhood and negatively impacting our property values and our safety. So thank you for letting me speak.
Thank you, sir. All right, that's the last of our speakers. Go ahead and close the public hearing. Any other questions for Brendan? Seeing none, brings to Bill 7832. Motion for first reading.
Wexler.
First by Councilman Wexler, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Wexler, please present the bill.
Bill number 7832, an ordinance providing the rezoning of a portion of a certain tract of land located at 3 White Oak Lane and owned by David and Anna Kelly from, C1 District, Restricted Business District to C2 General Business District.
Thank you. Next is public comment to consider declaring the home of 411 Woodlawn Avenue to be a landmark of the city of O'Fallon, establishing standards relating to the treatment of the site. Someone here to present that? Jeffrey.
Good evening, Mayor and members of City Council. I'm here to tell you about 411 Woodlawn. As you heard during the workshop, this is one of the most historic homes in the area. It is built back in 1914, and it does contain a lot of archaeological and agricultural significance to the city of O'Fallon. And the Historic Preservation Commission passed a resolution in which they would like for you to consider adding this to our historic homes listing. That's all I have, unless you have questions.
Any questions from the council? Seeing none, if you'd step aside, please. This is a public hearing. Mr. Dinoff.
Thank you, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C., AC Dinoff, City Public Advocate. I looked into this home, and I really don't see a lot of historical value, significance, according to the construction of the home. The property with the orchards and the surrounding area may be historic, but I'm not sure that it is deemed necessary to name this a historic home. If you look at towns around us in the region, the city of St. Charles, the city of Kirkwood, the city of Ferguson, I could go on and on about cities that have historical significance. I don't think this meets the mustard of what a landmark designation, what a landmark nomination process should be. The second home that I'm going to come up with, I'm going to talk about, it does meet that threshold. But I'm not going to oppose the designation. Yeah, it's going to cost us a little money. We're probably going to spend a few $100s on a brass plaque to put on the dwelling. Not many people are going to know about it. There's not going to be probably a sign out at the street level for people to do that. I don't think it's going to attract any tourism or economic development to our city. So I'm not going to actually oppose this landmark designation, but I really think we need to be picky and choosy of what we designate as historic, and I just don't think it meets that underlying threshold as historic compared to other cities in our region and in our state. Thank you.
Thank you. We have no other public comments. We'll go ahead and close the public comment. Any other questions for Tanya? Seeing none, brings to Bill 70. I did close it, right? Okay. Brings Bill 7833, motion for first reading.
Cook.
Motion by Councilwoman Cook, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. Councilwoman Cook, please present the bill.
Bill number 7833, an ordinance declaring the home located at 411 Woodlawn Avenue to be a landmark of the city of O'Fallon and establishing standards relating to the treatment of the site.
Thank you. Next public comment, to consider declaring the home located at 419 Woodlawn Avenue to be a landmark of the city of O'Fallon and establishing standards related to the treatment of the site. Ms. Tanya? Are you just going to say ditto?
Ditto? No. Close to what I just said, but we did present this one as well at the workshop. This one was built back in 1910 by the Roper family, and Rick, as well as the homeowner, gave a very good explanation as to why this home should be considered historically significant. Same thing, it did pass through the Historic Preservation Commission by resolution, and they have asked for you all to consider it to our listing of historic homes for the city of O'Fallon. And we do already have plaques, by the way. We have some that we've purchased in the past that are just sitting there that will be used for these homes if they pass through the city council.
Thank you. Questions for Tanya? Seeing none, Mr. Dinoff.
Thank you once again, members of the City Council. My name is Arnie C., AC Dinoff, City Public Advocate. This property located at 419 Woodlawn does, I believe, meet the specifications and the minimum threshold for an historic property. The pictures speak volumes. It's comparable to a home in St. Charles City, in Kirkwood, in Ferguson. In the age of the home, the style of the home, I'm not sure if it was a Sears home or a what was the other developer? I think it was a Roebuck constructed home. But I believe that that's the historical need that we want to try to achieve, that we want to try to make sure that those type of homes are being nominated for historical significance. As you all know, our historic buildings have dwindled and have gone down year by year in terms of either being razed, taken down, redeveloped, or unfortunate circumstances happen to the other homes in our downtown area. It's unfortunate that we don't have a downtown like St. Charles or like Kirkwood or Ferguson. And I think that this city council needs to look at a long-term comprehensive plan for downtown in terms of trying to bring that retro feel, that retrofit back, and having a real vibrant downtown with economic development, with restaurants, with an entertainment district, with a lot of annuities and amenities that can be done. For some reason, in those workshops, you don't talk about trying to further our city and develop our city. You don't talk about economic development and building a historic downtown, retrofitting to make a downtown look like other downtowns in our region. For those reasons, I will support the designation of 419 Woodlawn Avenue as a historic home. Thank you.
Thank you. No other speakers, so we'll go ahead and close public comment. Any questions for Tanya? Seeing none, brings Bill 7834. Motion for first reading.
Cook.
Motion by Councilwoman Cook, second.
Ragsdale.
Second by Councilman Ragsdale. Councilwoman Cook, please present the bill.
Thank you. Bill number 7834, an ordinance declaring the home located at 419 Woodlawn Avenue to be a landmark of the city of O'Fallon and establishing standards relating to the treatment of the site.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7835. Motion for first reading.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Boyer.
Second by Councilman Boyer. Councilman Kewen, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 7835, an ordinance approving an agreement between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon to reimburse a portion of the construction costs for the Guthrie Road Bridge Improvements Project in an amount not to exceed $70,250.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7836. Motion for first reading.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Kewen.
Second by Councilman Kewen. Councilman Cascala, please present the bill.
Bill number 7836, an ordinance approving an agreement between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon to reimburse a portion of the design costs for the Highway N Shared Use Path project in an amount not to exceed $160,000.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7837. Motion for first reading.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Kewen, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 7837, an ordinance approving a funding agreement between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon to reimburse a portion of the Bryan Road Pavement Preservation Project in an amount not to exceed $234,294.40.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7838. Motion for first reading.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Cascala, please present the bill.
Bill number 7838, an ordinance approving amendment number 2 between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon to reimburse a portion of the Deer Road Reconstruction Phase 1 project in an amount not to exceed $6,036,800.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7839. Motion for first reading.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Cascala, please present the bill.
Bill number 7839, an ordinance approving a funding agreement between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon to reimburse a portion of the Deer Road Reconstruction Phase 2 project in an amount not to exceed $440,000.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7840. Motion for first reading.
Kewen.
Ms. Ragsdale, Mr. Kewen. Ms. Ragsdale, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 7840, an ordinance approving a funding agreement between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon for an application assistance agreement for the Bryan Road and Veterans Memorial Parkway intersection project in an amount not to exceed $32,000.
Thank you. Motion brings Bill 7841. Motion second to introduce.
Kewen.
Motion by Councilman Kewen, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Councilman Kewen, please present the bill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Bill number 7841, an ordinance approving a funding agreement between St. Charles County and the city of O'Fallon to reimburse a portion of the costs of the Mexico Road resurfacing and pedestrian improvements plan in an amount not to exceed $520,088.
Thank you. Brings Bill 7842. Motion first reading.
Cascala.
Motion by Cascala, second.
Wexler.
Second by Councilman Wexler. Councilman Cascala, please present the bill.
Bill number 7842, an ordinance providing for the approval and acceptance of the dedication of streets and storm sewers, excluding detention for maintenance by the city of O'Fallon for the villages at Shady Creek, Plat 8.
Thank you. Questions or comments on Resolution 212, 2026I?
Motion to approve, Kewen.
Motion to introduce by Councilman Kewen, second.
Cascala.
Who was that down there? Was that Mr. Roth? Was that you?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, man, I just heard two of them down there, so all in favor? Any opposed? Miss Stephanie?
A resolution authorizing an agreement with Energy Petroleum Company extending the term of the provisions for fuel purchases through April 1st, 2027.
Thank you. Motion second to approve.
Ewan.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second.
Roth.
Second by Councilman Roth. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution I has been approved. Questions or comments on Resolution J?
Motion to introduce, Ewan.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second.
Taylor.
Second by Councilwoman Taylor. All in favor? Any opposed? Ms. Stephanie?
A resolution authorizing the expenses required for purchasing and installing humidifiers at the Justice Center in an amount not to exceed $17,500.
Motion to approve.
Ewan.
Motion by Councilman Kuhn, second.
Taylor.
Second by Councilwoman Taylor. Council members, please cast your vote.
The voting's closed.
8 yes, 0 no. Resolution J has been approved. No further business. This meeting is adjourned at 9:11.